Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I thought that we could sit down and have a very candid conversation about conquering the 2025 year. I wanted to throw this out there, or better yet, touch base on this topic, because I know I've already started to see some of the videos where people have had their planner line up and whatever, it's not working for them. And I just want to say that in this time, in this season, now would be a great time to stop watching YouTube with all the really extravagant planners. And I'm not saying that to discourage or to, deter people from watching certain things. I'm just saying that if you're feeling that way, it would be a great time to not do that. Let me just give you my own testimony, and maybe some of you, if not some, one of you can resonate with what I'm saying. I was in a relationship of being dissatisfied with my system some months ago. I was shopping and buying different things based off of what I saw, and I was falling deep into a rabbit hole of needing to have certain things. Now, this may not be the case for everyone, and I know I'm going to get a comment, if not some comments, about I never do that. I never say this. I never use my planner for this, or whatever the case may be. And I'm here to tell you that never say never. Never say what you wouldn't do, because if you were watching a lot of the content and you saw something that you really liked, you could possibly be that person who said they never would do something, falling deep down this rabbit hole of continuous buying into all of this stuff. And I'll be the first to tell you, it was a hard reality check to pull myself out of that and sit myself down and think about some of the things that I really wanted for myself. It was my bullet journal from August to the end of October, almost the end of October. It was that bullet journal, that A5 Leuchtturm that I was using and sharing on this channel. It was that bullet journal that I had the turning point of, this is it. I just want something that I can document my life, something that aids in all the different areas that I want in terms of being a journal, a to-do list, a calendar, a safe haven, a place that had no judgment. It got dings, it got ripped paint, it had life. And so when I was using that book, I was figuring out, like, okay, planning doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, because when you're planning your life, you go through a roller coaster of things all the time. You go through different changes. Sometimes an insert that you once used and loved may not work anymore. Hell, sometimes a system that you once used and loved may not work anymore. And so whenever you're on this journey of planning, it's a roller coaster. It's always going to evolve and change over time, because that's what life is. It's just full of change. And so I was watching a lot of videos, and I seen a video, and I'm not going to throw out the video that I watched, because I'm not trying to bring attention to anyone, but I seen a video of a lady who said she spent quite a few $100s on these and she had really expensive planners that she was purchasing, or that she had purchased, and she felt extreme regret and FOMO. And I'm like, I've been there. I have been right there, purchasing 2 and 3 planners at a time, because society in the planner community tells me that I need to have a faith planner, I need to have a memory keeper, I need to have an EDC, and I need to have this, and the third. And in reality, if that doesn't work for you, having 6 to 7 different planners, then why are you forcing yourself to buy 6 and 7 different planners when in reality you only need one? I know for a fact now in my current life that I thrive off of one planner. I know that only one planner solely works for me, whether that is I'm using a bullet journal that is going to house all of the things that I want, like journaling, planning, memory keeping, whatever. Or if I'm using a ring bound planner, which has multiple different sections, because sometimes this is a lot easier than having several different notebooks. Now, what I'm not going to say is to set up whatever you want to set up and then, not use it. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say don't set up 7 different notebooks because you're just being wasteful. If you want to set up 7 different notebooks and you just want to play around and use 7 different notebooks, you do you. You be you, you do you. That works for you, that's great. But what I'm trying to get across to all the people who are like me, who resonate with me, who are in the same boat, same shoe as me, is that if you have this mindset that all of that stuff that you see other people doing and that you have also tried yourself does not fit your lifestyle, then stop trying to fit in that category. It doesn't work for you. It took me a while to understand that no matter how many times I purchased the Midori products, no matter how much I loved the look and style and feel of the Midori products, they purposely just did not work for me. I was on the verge of buying another Midori Habino this year and had to sit myself down real hard like, no. We spent the $70 on this book twice. And in the 2 times that we spent it, we never even used it because it didn't work for us. Or we used it for a little bit and we realized that it just wasn't going to fit the bill. And sometimes you just have to have a hard reality check with yourself. What's your purpose? What's the purpose of planning? What's important to you? Sometimes you just have to have this conversation with yourself. Sometimes you have to sit down and flip through your own planner, which I often do a lot. Sometimes you have to flip through your own planner, the deco that you put into it. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to literally sit down, look at your planner, look at what's in it, flip through it, and see what the heck you have in here to fully appreciate it. Because I'll tell you, if you are feeling dissatisfied with your planner, it probably stemmed off of watching somebody else's video that you've seen had all these different elaborate trackers and different type of inserts, and you thought to yourself, oh, I need that. No, you don't need that. I'm telling you, it is a vicious cycle of purchasing and repurchasing and purchasing again because we can't find contentment. And if you are feeling like planner FOMO is a thing for you and you always feel planner FOMO, you're not fully allowing yourself to appreciate the planner that you have. Our planners are tools, okay? And you'll hear me say this a lot. I've said it a lot. I've said it in recent videos. It's a tool. It is just that. It is a tool. And you have to use the tool for its purpose. You have to allow it to work. It's a system. It's a program, if you will. And you have to allow it to consume into your life. And you have to allow it to be used. You have to allow it to work. When you give up so easily after 2 days of use or 2 weeks of use and then determine that it didn't work for you, you didn't really allow it to do what it was intended to do. You just determined that it didn't work for you, or you saw something that didn't fit the bill. And so the whole entire system didn't work for you. Instead of just going through your sections and saying, okay, do I really need this? Can I do without this? I haven't touched this, so can I remove this? And if you're in a bullet journal, your situation is so easy, because if you're drawing out things and you realize that, man, drawing out this stuff is really too time consuming, then you need to probably scale back, maybe try a printed book. And if the printed book isn't working for you, then maybe you need to consider a different kind of option. You can bullet journal in rings. A lot of people don't know that, but you can bullet journal in rings. I have done it. That is a possibility. You can use different inserts and bullet journal in those inserts. It's a way to go about making a system fully work for you without entirely abandoning something for the sake of what someone else has. I wanted to throw this out there. I know it's a rant for me, and it's a little bit of a different video for me because I don't usually make these kind of videos, but I really want to get across to a lot of people, especially people who watch me, that I don't want you to copy me, but I want you to take away something. I want you to learn something from me if you can't get it from any other video that you're watching, because nobody's being honest enough about, what's really happening in the planner and journal community. If you could take away anything from my video, I want you to know that I am going to encourage you to use my ideas. I don't care. Use them. If there's something in my planner that you saw and you really like the way that was structured, you really like the way that I set it up, and you want to try it out for yourself, use it. My whole intent is to share the process, my process. My whole intent is to get across to other people how I'm doing things, how I'm using things, what these things are, how they work, how they function for me. And hopefully in that process, you figure out, hey, that might work for me too. Let me try this. And if you try it and it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then that's one part of my system that you took, you tried, it didn't work for you, and you moved on. And that's kind of like, that's the whole idea of planning. That's the whole idea of these planner videos, is because we want to get inspiration from other people. We don't want to just see you sticker a planner. We don't want to see you just set up a binder or a notebook or a TN. We don't want to just see you do that. A lot of us are in the boat as we just want to see the process for what it is, and we want to know what the process is, and we want to focus on process and skill and talent from that. We probably want to know how to project plan. Maybe someone is showing a video of how to project plan. I do a lot of videos where I talk about my planner setups and the things that I have in here, and most of the time I touch bases on how I use things and why I added certain things. And I'll be the first to tell you, my process has not been an easy road. It has been an uphill battle of change and change again, and it's been a process. But that's the biggest thing. It's a process. And when you can be content with something, you'll be okay with the change of that process. You'll be okay with, okay, it's not perfect, but it will work. It's not perfect, but I know I have things that will do what they're supposed to do. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. And that's okay. I just wanted to throw out here that if you are currently, right now, to date, in your planner, and you're feeling discontent with what you have and you're considering purchasing something else, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your bank account. Don't do it for the sake of, because you were just discontent. Try to figure out what your discontentment is first before splurging on something more expensive. Maybe the something that you need to try is less expensive. Maybe you need to go to Hobby Lobby and buy a $9 pack of inserts and a $12 binder and try that. I've done that. And to my surprise, the Agenda 52 binders and planners have really decent paper. Maybe there is something on Amazon that is cheap that you can try out, that maybe has the kind of layout that you like to use and maybe has a few of the things that you like. Maybe trying out a notebook and just drawing out the things that you want and the different layouts that you would like to try every week. Maybe doing that. Maybe a printable. I'm telling you, don't spend crap tons of money trying to fulfill a discontentment or a void of, whatever the void may be, because I'm telling you, it is a vicious cycle. It is a cycle that will consume you and drain and deplete your bank account, because you're never going to fully be happy in one thing. And some of us who find planner peace, because a lot of people like to say, does planner peace even really exist? Yes, it does exist. It exists when you allow the system to work for you. It allows when you allow it to just be a tool. It works. These things work. They don't just up one day and all of a sudden, you walked in here and you turned to your planner and you said, it died. It just stopped working. You got to figure out what part of it is not working. Is it this insert that you're using that's not really fitting the bill? Is it the way your weekly is structured? Like maybe you're not a horizontal, maybe you prefer a vertical, and maybe that will work best for you. Maybe it's the way you like everything in your current planner, but maybe the size is what's not working for you. So maybe you need to go up a size, or maybe it's the way that you like everything set up, but it's too big for you. So maybe you need to go down a size. You have to determine all of these things and really dissect what it is that you're not happy with before just upping and saying that you're not happy with something. Maybe instead of purchasing 7 to 8 planners, maybe you just try purchasing one at a time. Like maybe you use the personal ring, and I wouldn't say go for the most expensive thing. Maybe trying out one thing at a time and then saying, okay, I'm going to give this a 90-day trial. That's 1 quarter. That's 3 months. 90-day trial. And at the end of the quarter, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to determine what worked in this system and what didn't work in this system. And then from there, I'm going to make my conclusions and figure out what I need from that. Maybe that's how you have to do things. Sometimes you just have to have those hard, very hard talks with yourself and determine what it is in your planner that you really want, what it is for yourself that you really want, what kind of system you like, what kind of things you like. Maybe you need to sit down and figure like, okay, stickers aren't for me, and so I'm not going to do stickers. I'm going to just focus on the content. And maybe you stop doing stickers, and then when you feel comfortable enough with your system, then maybe you can start incorporating those stickers again. Maybe you can try some little dainty ones, something that's not too overbearing, but still present enough to make you feel okay about having a little sticker down. Maybe, maybe paper is an issue for you. Okay. They don't make a whole lot of, fancy paper typed inserts, but maybe doing it a DIY, printing on the kind of paper that you want, maybe that's, a thing for you. I don't know, but what I'm going to say is that this talk I felt was really needed to have, or we really needed to have this talk, because I want the people who watch me on a consistent basis, the people who watch my videos regularly, to know that we're all in this together. I am learning my system as I'm sharing it with you, and whatever I come across that works for me, I'm definitely going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you how I'm using stuff, because I feel like that's what we need right now. So Day Designer has a lot of free printables on their website. And I will be the first to tell you, they have a lot of good gems. Sometimes you got to add things of positive affirmations, because we can beat ourselves up sometimes about the things that we have. My health and wellness section is just that. It was not really inviting. I didn't really like coming in here as much. And I'll be honest with you, I consider just not doing this part of my planner, because it just was not a fun section for me to turn to. Is it a section that I need? Most certainly, because I need to see where I am in my health and wellness journey. I need to see like how I'm doing in that. So you got to add things to it that make you more, in that space. Mindset is everything. What you think about things is everything. You got to get your mind there. And that's the message that I have for myself. Day Designer has a lot of those little free principles, like this 30 favorite ways to treat and fulfill and recharge yourself. Pamper yourself, get out a bit, treat yourself, stay in. There's things that can help you. And another gem, 24 quick fixes for when you feel overwhelmed. You start to feel overwhelmed in your planner. These are a list of things that you can do and look at and get into to help you get back on track. And the other one that I posted, 24 ultimate planning tips and life hacks. You're feeling like your planner isn't working for you? Think of some ways that you can plan to make things work for you. You got to start thinking like that. You got to start using your stuff like that. You want to do DIY projects? Most of all this little deco stuff is DIY. This little bit of DIY, I kid you not, does so much for my mental because it still allows me to be me in all of this pre-printed type stuff without the stickers. You want to make a folder, you want to have all the fancy stuff. I did a DIY laminated folder today because I watched someone's video and I wanted to do that, but I didn't have that kind of time. So I printed out a picture, I laminated a sheet of paper, and boom, I made a DIY folder. And I mean, it's little stuff like this that also help you stay in your system and make it work for you. Sometimes you just got to do stuff like that. Sometimes you got to put like pictures and little quotes in here to kind of fulfill your space and open up, you know, creativity in your mind and invite you back to your system. So I know today's video was a little bit different. I know that it was not the most thought out, like in terms of plans, but I wanted to have this conversation because I want all of us to thrive this year. I want to see more happier videos and not videos of being, you know, unsatisfied or unhappy with our system. I want to see those videos where we're sharing and bouncing ideas off of each other. I want to see those planner videos where, you know, people are really planning and we're not just trying to sell a product. I don't want to see those type of videos anymore. I want to see the raw and unfiltered and fun stuff. I want to see that. And if nobody else is doing it, I want to be one of the channels that does it. So I hope you found it inspiring today. I hope that it was an encouraging pep talk. I hope that you are able to take a bit of, if not any of what I said, all of what I said to heart today and just really dissect it, really let it sink in. And yeah, I hope that it helps. So I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for staying with me throughout my own journey. And I will catch you guys in the next planner related video. Bye, loves.